Good morning. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, as always. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining for these few minutes, getting some of these steps in before I head out of here. Happy Tuesday, folks. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Ah, I slept pretty well last night, and hopefully you all did the same. Hopefully you all did the same. Was up early, getting my day started, all that good stuff. Woo woo. But of course, any day above ground is a good day, a great day. Blessed to be here. Blessed to see another day. Blessed to see another day. Another day. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I saw this article. I'm going to be real brief here out of Money. You all remember them from Money magazine now. Of course, most things are online. Personal finance, 8 financial decisions you'll never regret. So let's get into it. I guess if you do these 8 things, then you're set. You're set. You're set. We all know how that goes. Of course, life is happening all the time, but these are some really good tips. These are some really good tips, maybe as a foundation. And of course, within the tip, how you manage, how you work it is, of course, totally up to you. The first one is save more for retirement. Yes, we all want to do that, save more for our later years. And of course, we can see what the expenses are that we have now, and hopefully they will be done by the time we are fully retired, etc., especially like our home and car loans, all of that type of stuff is over and done with, hopefully well before, but at least, if not directly before we retire, so that we don't have to worry about those things in our retirement. But definitely save more for retirement. Anytime you get a bonus, you get some extra money from someplace, some unexpected uncle dies and leave you a little inheritance, something or another like that, or you're able to, if you have side hustles and you're able to dedicate some of that income to your retirement plans, etc., then that is a good thing. But number one, save more for retirement. Number two, building an emergency fund. Yes, saving for that rainy day because something will happen, as you all know it. And goodness knows if you have children, something will happen there also into. But definitely save, build that emergency fund. And some people said 3 to 6 months, and some people more. But you definitely want to have enough so that if you lost your job, or your significant other or your spouse lost their job, then you're able to handle the four major things that, not the four major things, but the four walls, as the Dave Ramsey plan says. But, food, clothing, and shelter, you definitely want to make sure that those happen. Of course, you have to have your utilities to make the house work, etc., that type of thing. And I know that there are other things like your car insurance, renter's insurance, if you're renting, homeowner insurance, if you're doing that outside of the mortgage payment, property taxes, I get all of that. And some of those things you can call your creditors and say, hey, I hit a bump in the road, if need be. But if you have that number two, that emergency fund, then maybe you can use some of that to help with the things. What was that number two? Yeah, the emergency fund will help you. Yeah, that is the reason for the emergency fund. It's not early, but it seems as though the emergency fund that you have saved will help you with those things while you are out of a job and, of course, looking for another job, etc. That is one of the reasons for the emergency fund, Number three, pay off your credit cards, of course, paying off your credit cards. And then, of course, doing your best not to get back into credit card debt. And we get it. Life is happening all the time and things happen. The HVAC system dies, the water heater, you need a new refrigerator, etc., need a new stove, all of which I need. I want. Mine are still working, but I know that they are on the fritz. They are on the fritz. But nonetheless, number three is pay off your credit card and do your best, try to not get back into debt. And if you have to, hopefully you've been working a plan to where, hey, if I have to utilize this credit card again after I have paid it off, I will pay it off in 30 days. That is the ideal situation. But if you have to do it over 2 or 3 months, and that is good also, and 2 or even 4, whatever works for you, but you don't want to have the debt, just rolling over each month and possibly you're just making the minimum payments, etc. You don't want to do that, but pay off credit card debt. Try not to get back into credit card debt. It's the little thing that I add, but when they say pay off your credit card debt, that means pay it off and pretty much stay out of debt, credit card debt, or if you utilize it, pay it off in 30 days. That is the main thing. Number four, pay your bills on time every month. Of course, that is just good business because you made a promise to whomever you got the credit with that you are going to hold up your end of the bargain by paying them every month until the bill was paid. And they, of course, did it right by you by extending you the credit. So pay your bills on time every month. If you have an issue, of course, we know to call and say, hey, I'm having a problem. I'll be able to pay you on at this particular time, on this particular date, etc. And then do what it is that you said. Also, we know that your credit rating and credit score is tied to your paying your bills on time. So you don't want to mess that up because down the road you're going to need something that's probably going to be a big ticket item. And now you have something on your credit report that you did not pay and your bill went into collection, or you had several missed payments over a period of time and they had to contact you and you did not contact them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So please make sure that, as always, you pay your bills on time, every time, each month. And if you're not able to immediately, call immediately and say, hey, I am unable to pay. I'm unable to pay this month on this particular date. I can make up next month and tell them what all you're going to do. Number five, buy a home that you can actually afford. And this is where some people may get a little may take a different tack or have a different thought process on because they want the home that they want the very first time that they buy it, etc. And sometimes you're not able to afford the home that you want, but you're going to do it anyway because that is a home that you want and it is way over your budget. And trust that it's not a good thing to do. Of course, you can change your mind down the road after you get the house. Like, hey, this is too much house. What was I thinking, et cetera, et cetera. And people get excited when they're getting something new, like the shiny new car. It could be a used car, but new to you, etc. People get excited and they want what they want, and they're really not thinking it through. They're seeing all the rooms that it has and all these other things, etc. And you can think about all the things you can do, etc. But the best tech is to buy a home that you can actually afford, even if it isn't the ideal one that you want. Of course, if you want 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, then of course get that. Some of the other things that you may want, you may have to put off to the side. Just don't worry about it. The next home that I buy will have that, and then by the time the next home comes, it may not be needed, etc. Depending on what your life is and your financial situation, So you can always save up for the thing that you want or that you think you want right now, etc. But buy the home that you can actually afford. Don't get out here and try to keep up with somebody. You just want to have a bigger house and marry and all this other stuff and getting yourself into debt that you do not need and know that you can't afford. Number six, track your spending. Track your spending, a good thing. Every time you go out here, and they have these apps on the phone that you can use, or you can pen and paper it, etc. Or do your Excel. Track your expenses every time you're spending money at the grocery store, buying this, buying that, etc. Make sure that you write it down, log it, punch it into your phone so that you can have an account of all the stuff that you are spending money on in the different categories. It could be home and household items, food, clothing, what you pay for subscription, any ancillary stuff that you may have to purchase or buy with your kids at their school, etc. You're buying gifts for friends, for birthdays, graduations, whatever it is. Make sure that you are tracking your expenses, because if you do that and then you see, well, maybe I can slow down, cut back in a place that you might be spending a little bit too much. And then, of course, you can always do cash into envelopes, You can always cash stuff. Have your personal categories if you see yourself overspending, like, okay, I'm spending too much on groceries, which is a big one nowadays, I am spending too much on groceries. I need to cut back. I'm going to allocate myself X number of dollars per month. And once this envelope is empty, no more cash, no more spending, I have to make do until the next time I fill the envelope. Number 7, budget. Create a household budget. That is number 1 key and a thing that everyone needs to do. And I get some folks don't have a lot going on. They may be retired and their home may be paid for. They may just have their utilities. They're not trying to travel. They're not trying to do a whole bunch of stuff, etc. If they do travel, they can manage it, etc. And those folks may not need a budget, and I get it, I get it. But they are in a different circumstance than probably a whole lot of regular Joes and Josephines like me and you. And a household budget is going to be key. You need to know where your money is going, before you get it. I know that's counting your chickens before they hatch, but if you're working, then you're expecting to get paid, etc. So a household budget, having a budget is good. You get to tell your money where you want it to go. You get to tell your money where you want it to go. Number eight, save first, then buy it. Yes, that's where, those the sinking funds come in, and that's where the mini savings challenge, not the mini savings challenge, but savings challenges in of itself. I'm going to be doing some mini savings challenges, so that's why that came to the brain. Save first, then buy. You see something that you like, you know you don't have the money for it, and you do have enough discipline not to just go and purchase it right there. So you see how much it costs, and then you start saving for it. And it's possible that while you're saving for it, the thrill will be gone. The thrill will have left you about buying that particular item, and then you just have that money that you can do something with, etc. But the whole big overall picture, if you see something that you want, save first, then buy. It could be a car. You know that your car is kind of sort of on the fritz, and you want to save up for a new one, or it's not on the fritz, it's working well, but you've had it for a minute, and eventually things break down, and hopefully the breakdowns are minor so that you can continue to pay the mechanic a little bit. But eventually it's going to happen, and you know it. So you're going to start saving now for the eventual purchase later. But yeah, that's it. Number 8, save first, then buy. Save first, then buy. And sometimes the thrill will leave you, even if you just write it down like I do. And then sometimes that thrill leave me, and then I just scratch it off my wish list, which I keep a running one of. But yeah, 8 things that will help you, um, not have regrets, that will help you not have regrets. And then I'm sure that there's some things you can add to the list that you yourself are doing personally or have done personally that is helping you to not have financial regrets about stuff. These are tips that are going to help you. And they are, once again, save more for retirement, build an emergency fund. And of course, when you for the emergency fund, most people say 3 to 6 months to begin with, but you always want to be putting more onto that, because you could live in a place like a high income, well, not high income, but a high cost of living area, and then if you're doing 3 to 6 months, and that just isn't going to be enough. That's not going to be enough, and the cost of things are going up dramatically. 1, save more for retirement. 2, build an emergency fund. 3, pay off your credit card debt. 4, pay your bills on time every month. 5, buy a home that you can actually afford. 6, track your spending. 7, create a household budget. And number 8, save first, then buy it. And yeah. Whew. Thanks for being here with me today, folks. Okay, the resolutions, the New Year's resolutions. How are they coming along, folks? Just a reminder, how are they coming along? Please make sure that you are looking at them, doing the action steps, etc. Like I always say, if you need to ditch it or ditch 1 or 2 of them, etc., then do so. And just get back on the wagon if you fall off, etc. Just a reminder to make sure that we are still looking at and on track and working towards our financial goals, whether it could be financial or otherwise, resolutions and goals. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Join my membership. Thank you all so much for being here. I do appreciate it. Take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.